Hello everybody, it's me, Sian here from WoopaGaming, and by request I'm doing the default bucket permissions. So basically there is no real default inbuilt permission system for Bukkit, but there is some API, and I'm going to go over that, and the plugin that uses it is called PermissionsBukkit, so I'll be going over that, and also how to use the permissions.yml in your root directory that you may have noticed, and you're probably wondering what is it, what does it do, and I'm going to go over that as well. Okay, so PermissionsBukkit is just another bucket permission system. You know them all before, I've done loads of tutorials on them, but this is the latest, newest one which works with the API. You also see SuperPerms This will just make it usable with older versions of permissions like 3.0. Oh, I found a polo. And 2.7. For the purposes of the tutorial I won't be using this, but I'm just going to be using PermissionsBukkit version 1.2, which is at the time. So download that using the download link here. And this is the link to Bukkit Dev, and there's also a link to the thread. I'll provide a link for both in the description. And put it in your plugins directory. So there I have put PermissionsBukkit 1.2. So just put whatever version it is at the moment, put it in. And for this purpose of the tutorial, I'm going to be using multi-arrow as the plugin I'll be using for permissions. So start the server up. Okay, so there we are. Multi-arrow will do its stuff, and then PermissionsBukkit will say creating default configuration and whatnot. So let's first have a look at permissions.yml. That's blank at the moment. We're going to add some stuff to that soon. And go to plugins and PermissionsBukkit, and you'll notice a config.yml text file or YML file. There's lots of information here. You can read that in your own time, but I'm not going to for purposes of this tutorial. But I'm going to show you how to add permissions to the to this. So let me just grab up the permissions for what's it called? Multi-arrow. Sorry about this. So the permission nodes for this are multi-arrow use all. Okay. So I'm actually going to go over what this is. So we know the node and whatnot. So this is what you've come to expect with permission systems. You have groups and then users, and this time we've got a new messages one which I'll go over. But let's focus on the groups. Okay, so with the groups you have the name of the group, default. This will be the group that people will put into if they don't have a group defined there. And these are the nodes they'll have. So for instance, they'll have permissions.build. They won't be able to build, so that's false. So if they do try to build, this message will come here. So you don't have permission to build here. Next group is admin, permissions, and then permissions.star. This will give them all permissions commands. Now, one thing you must know about PermissionsBukkit or Bukkit permissions is that it doesn't have star nodes. It doesn't have an all-round node. So you're going to have to use permissions.star, or for instance levelcraft.star, and so on, because it doesn't support the all nodes. If you do have SuperPerms, you can use it, but as I'm saying, we're not using SuperPerms in this tutorial. So that's that, and it inheritances user. So this is the user, exact same, except this one inherits default. So in fact, all the nodes that the user has, the admin has, and all the nodes that the default has, the user has as well. So we're going to create our own group, and we're going to copy this, paste this here. We're going to name it Arrow Guy. Oh, I call it Archer. Arrow Guy, yeah, whatever. We're going to remove this. We're going to actually change this to build so that they can build. Actually, we won't. Yeah, we'll do that anyway. We're going to inherit default, so they get all the commands off default. And now we're going to add the actual permission node. So copying it from there. This is where we can define the worlds. So for each world we can have different permission nodes. So my world is called world, and this is going to be the permission node. If I wanted to add more worlds, I can just add another world here, type the name in, and then add any permission nodes I wish, like so. And there we are, we've added another world with permission node. But I don't want these permission nodes. I want the multi-arrow dot all permission node. Now we'll remove that. Now with this, these are kind of like booleans, so you have to either put colon, space, and then true, or false, depending on whether you want them to give the permission or not. So on all permission nodes you'll pretty much have true. If they don't have a permission node at all, it's basically the same as having false. Okay, so that's that. Now we are going to do a add a user, so I'm going to add myself. Now you might notice that there are no suffixes and prefixes. That's because it doesn't have any. Super perms can emulate it, I believe, but the prefix plugins will need to incorporate that. Okay, so with users you can just type the name in, copy one, and these are all the nodes they're going to have. So you can add them a new node, so cool plugin .x colon true, so that I've got that cool plugin.x node, and then you define what groups they're in. So I'm going to change this to Archer, so it allows me to have the permissions.build multi-arrow.use all, so that's what it gives me, and all the commands of default, but there are none there. So Control S to save, and that's that. So now if I go in game, now I'm just going to do this quickly, I won't use fraps. If I reload actually, we can actually learn our first command is perms reload, and that just reloads the configuration file. Okay, so I'm going to log in. Oops, I'm not up for this purpose of this tutorial. Okay, so I believe the ID is 262. Yes, look at that, pro. So I can change my bow type by left clicking, and then I can right click to put all the things I want down. So that's just to show that I've got the permission. So now I'm going to go ahead and actually remove myself, so I'll be default. So I'm just going to Control C. Right, so now I'm not any group, I'm default group, and now I will still be able to do it. See, ooh. There we go. Ooh, nice. Wow, Sam. Yeah, just kill yourself. Nice one. Let's see if I can get those arrows back. Oh, yeah. I've got a bow. Yes, alright, okay. So now I'm going to reload the permissions, so perms reload, and now I won't be able to use any of the things. So there we are. See, I can just switch to normal, and that's about it. They don't no longer explode and kill myself. So that's a good thing, I guess. Okay. I guess it's time to go over the inbuilt ones. So there we are, default can't build, and that's the text. I'm going to go over the permissions.yml, so let's look at that. Let's open it up, and I'm going to copy this across, and I'm going to explain what this does and what not. So this I'll provide this in the description, but what this allows you to do is effectively create your own. Actually, I copied the wrong one. Oh no, I didn't. Right, we'll copy this one actually. It has a bit more information I can talk about. Okay, this is basically, you can create your own permission nodes. The permission nodes are based on other permission nodes. So, what does this mean? Right, let's break this down. So first of all, the first line, we have our custom permission node. So let's call it custom.perm. Okay. Second line will be description, so we can change this to how we like. And now default is whether or not default players have this permission node and all its children. So we're going to set this to false. You can set this to op if you wish, and all ops on the server will have this permission node. So we're just going to set it to false, and now these are all the nodes that the player will have. So we're going to add another node just to prove it works. Multi-arrow.infinite, and that gives me infinite arrows to shoot. So control save. So now I've added it, but I need to go into my config.yml and actually add this to the group. So what I'll do, if I just control Z, so I make myself Archer again, and then I'll add my custom permission node, which I named custom.perm. So if I type custom.perm, save. So there we are, that's all good. Now I'm not sure, I'll just reload the server, and now I should have the ability to shoot infinite arrows. So there we are. So let's just check to see I can switch. Okay, it's good. I have 58 arrows in my inventory, so if I shoot one, there I'll go straight back to 58 again. You'll notice that it will go down and then up again. That's because of the client side, but that's beyond the scope of this tutorial. So there we are. It's not changing until my arrow count is going up. So that's how you add your own permission nodes. As you can see, I added one to that one. You can add as many as you like, just add the extra line, and you can add as many custom permission nodes as you wish. Okay, so that pretty much sums up the back end, I guess, if it were. I'm going to go over the commands now, and yeah. So the permission nodes for permissions, I'll just add that now. I'll add this one to here. So there are lots of permission nodes. I'm not going to go over all of them. For the actual permissions bucket plugin itself, so I'm going to add a star, so permissions.star, and that will give me all permission commands. But you can have a look on the site, and each corresponds to each command, and I'm just going to go over the commands now. So if I perms reload, that's our first one, it just reloads configuration. So let's have a look. So first of all, let's just try perms, and it should have a nice little configuration there of some of the basic commands. So perms reload, which we've already gone over. Perms check, so this is a good one. So let's do perms check the node, so custom.perm samkio. So we should have this one. So there we are, my player samkio sets custom perm to true. So there we are. We've found out that we do in fact have the custom perm node. Let's try one we don't have. Perms check lol.lol samkio, and there we are. We don't have that permission node. So it works. Next is permissions info. So let's do perms info, and let's do custom.perm. And there you are. You can see all the information about the custom permission. You see our description that we put in earlier, how many children nodes it has, and whether it's default. Let's try another one. Let's do perms info multi-arrow dot what was it? Infinite. And there we are. We can see all the description of the permission node multi-arrow dot infinite. Will not consume arrows when firing, and whether or not it's default. We can see an information about a player by doing perms dump samkio, and then we can add a page, but we won't. And there we are. We can see all the permissions we have and what plugin it corresponds to. So there we are. I see I've got cool plugin.x custom perm, and I can change page by doing perms dump samkio 2, and there are, there's page 2. Okay. We can do perms group. So let's go with the permission group command. So perms group, and this will list all the group related commands. So we've got perms group list. Let's do that, and it'll list all the groups for this one. So perms group. There are default admin, archer, and user as we've defined earlier. We can now do perms group players, and then we'll do archer. Perms group players archer, and that will display all the users in that group. So as you can see, I'm the only user in the archer group as we've defined. We can give a perm to a group, so let's do perms group set perm. The group name we'll do archer. We can define a world, or we can just do a node. We'll define a world. We'll do world colon and then the permission. So we'll do lol.lol. Go for it. Now group archer now has lol.lol in the world. So that's all good. Oh, and we could define whether true or false, but by default it's true. Right, so we can remove that node now. So perms group unset perm. It would be archer lol.lol, and there we are. I did it wrong. Perms group unset perm world lol.lol, and there we are. So I did that wrong again. I must have typed it in wrong, but that's how you remove a perm. Now we're going to go on to player command. So permissions, I'll add title player, and this lists all the player commands you can do with permissions. We'll do permissions, perms player groups Samkio, and this will display all the groups that a player is. So you can see I'm in the archer group, and that's it. I can belong to multiple groups, which is always good. Perms set group set group, yeah, that's right, Samkio, and then I can define what groups I want to join. So let's do admin, and we'll do another one by doing a colon user, and I've typed it in wrong. Well done, Sam, well done. Perms player set group Samkio, we'll just do user, and I typed it in wrong. Perms, what have I done? Oh, for goodness sake. Perms player set group Samkio user admin. There we go. We did it in the end. Not up. We did it in the end, but there you are. I am now in user and admin. So now let's see my group by doing perms player groups Samkio, and you can see that I'm in the groups user and admin, but it's also removed me from the archer group because I didn't define that when I set the groups. The way I would do that is I would instead add the group. So I do perms player add group Samkio archer, and now if I do perms player group Samkio, you get the idea. I will be in 3 of the groups: archer, user, and admin. I just cannot type today for some reason. To remove myself from a group, I do perms player remove group Samkio, and I remove myself from admin, so I'm not admin anymore. And there I've removed myself from admin. Let's give this a go. I should be in archer and user. There we are. It did work in the end. So yeah, as you can see, I removed myself from admin and whatnot. We can give specific players perms in game by doing perms player set perm Samkio. Then you get the same file, so we do lol.lol again, and then true. And there I are, giving myself the node. And now I can remove it by doing perms player unset perm Samkio lol.lol lol. And there we are, I've removed it and set it and whatnot. Ooh. Okay, so that pretty much goes over all the configuration and whatnot. So hopefully you got the grips of that. You might have to watch it a few times to check, show your mods and admins if they require that. It could be helpful. Hope you find it helpful, because I understand that some people might find it quite difficult. I mean, there has been lots of permission systems, and hopefully this will be the last one. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is me, Sam, here for WoopaGaming, signing out.